Hello, and I want to say a huge thanks for all the comments and feedback that I've had from the other two videos that I've made about saxophone stuff. It's really great to hear from you. Thanks for that. Somebody was asking about vibrato and if I'd make a video about my take on vibrato, so here it is, and thanks for the suggestion. Vibrato is a really lovely thing if you get it right, and it sounds really nice on the end of a note, so it's the waving sound that you hear, if you don't already know, on the end of a note. And if you get it right, it sounds fantastic. It gives a lovely, polished, professional, beautiful effect to your sound. If you get it wrong, it can sound really quite bad, so it's something that you're going to need to work on if you don't already have it. There's lots and lots of ways that people can do vibrato, and this is my take on it. So, you know, it's certainly not the only way, but this is how I do it. And what I'm doing is I'm making a small, almost imperceptible chewing motion with my jaw. So my jaw is pointing towards the floor and coming back, going towards the floor and coming back again. And I'm not making any sound. I'm going with my mouth, but I'm going to make a sound when I demonstrate. I'm going oh, 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 oh. So but I'm not making any sound with my voice with that. So it would look like this. Here's a straight note on a G with the tenor, just so you can compare. Here's a note with vibrato. Again. So again, I'm making this chewing motion, and the way that I think you can start to practice this is to play a straight note and then experiment with dropping your jaw down ever so slightly and pulling it back up again really, really slowly. It won't sound that fantastic, it will sound bad, and you shouldn't do this at gigs, but it's a good way to learn. So get your note going. Again, this is a G, and then I'm just going to drop my jaw down and lift it back up again. Drop it down, lift it up, dead slow, like this. As you can hear, it doesn't sound good, but is a good exercise to do. So once you've got into the habit of doing it slowly, then pick up the pace and do it as quickly as you can, like this. Which also really doesn't sound good. But between those 2 points, there's a sweet spot. And practice doing it at a middle pace, so not too fast, not too slow. And where it fits is really nicely is on the end of a straight note. So I wouldn't play vibrato all the way through a note. What I would aim to do is to play a note that's nice and straight, and at the end, as it tapers off or the note ends, put a little bit of vibrato on the end. So on a G it would be like this. It's very, very subtle. Now here's the thing about vibrato. In my mind, vibrato is like aftershave. If you put a bit of aftershave on, just a little bit here and there, maybe on the wrist, it will be really, really good and has a fantastic effect. But if you put even slightly too much aftershave on, it's overpowering and horrible and just sounds bad. It's exactly the same with vibrato. You really don't want to do it too much, otherwise you'll get this kind of sound. And it's just really, really awful. Another thing that I would always say to my students, people that I'm teaching, is don't use your breath. Sometimes you hear this, because sometimes you hear people using their breath. If you use your breath, you'll get a pushing sound rather than a wave sound. And this is what I mean by using your breath. So it's like really sharp pulses rather than gentle waves. So yeah, so just to recap, it's a chewing motion with your jaw going towards the floor and back up again. It's very, very subtle. It feels really substantial to your face when you're doing it, but actually when you have a look at your jaw, there's hardly any movement. Don't use it too much, and stick it on the end of a straight note, and absolutely don't use your breath. I really hope that that was useful to you. Thanks again for all the fantastic comments. I love talking to other sax players out there. If you do have any questions or anything that I can help you with, I'd be more than happy to make videos. So do let me know. My name's Lyndon. All the best to you guys. Take care.